Good morning, all of you. Hope all of you are doing good. All of you have waiting for this vacation, but you never ever imagine such situation in which we cannot go outside the room. That means that much problematic situation we are facing now. Maybe you don't know the importance, but you have to understand this is for our safety. Stay home, stay healthy, stay blessed. Okay, so this is the second part of our infectious disease. Inshallah, in this part we have to study the case studies of cholera and tuberculosis, and these two are infectious disease. The details we can see in the next part. Usually, as I say, you have to keep your textbook page number 200. So it starts with the tuberculosis. Okay, so tuberculosis is a worldwide public health problem. Now, as we are hearing about the corona COVID-19, these all diseases were once was a threat for the society until they diagnosed it, and until they find the medicine, until the vaccination find. It was really a headache to the society. Okay, so tuberculosis is a major worldwide public health problem. It is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The spelling you should be very careful. It is a rod-shaped bacteria that is by a group known as Bacillus. Okay, AIDS we told it is a retrovirus. The tuberculosis is a Bacillus and it is a bacterium, not virus. Okay, and this is find out by a special technique called Ziehl-Neelsen technique that shows a red stain in the bacteria. Like that the doctors are finding about it. It mainly affects the lungs, so they are taking the X-ray of the lungs. If the lungs are affected by the tuberculosis, they will have a long persisting cough, because it is they distract the cells of the lungs, so the immunity will be affected from there and they will not get the oxygen well, because the lungs if not working, it will affect obviously to the oxygen supply, isn't it? So it happens a persisting cough. It is very dangerous if it is not diagnosed on the right time. If it is not diagnosed, we should trace the person who was in contact with whomever. They have to be traced and diagnosed that they are negative or positive. Only then the treatment will be effective. Now in this picture you can clearly see that the symptoms and prevention, mainly the cough with blood and chest pain. They lose the weight. That is the important thing. How to find the cough may not identify as a lung TB, because the thing is that they are having cough for the flu also. It is the cough is there, isn't it? But their weight will be loose and they will lose the appetite. They don't like eat food. Okay, persistent coughing, loss of appetite, loss weight, chest pain, cough with blood. That are the main symptom, and they have to stay away from coughing people. Okay, and clean our home, wash our hands before and after eating, and before touch anything. Actually, as a Muslim, we have a custom to be a person with ablution all the time. It's a sunnah, but nobody is following. But see, in this COVID-19, all are recommending what? You have to wash your hand. You have to wash your hand. Even Prophet ﷺ 1400 years before told us what? Even when you wake up from the sleep, first you have to wash your hand. And in the wudu, what we are doing the first? We are washing our hand. So hand is an important thing which has an important role in spreading the disease, because it touches our nose, mouth, ear and eye. Those are always keep open, isn't it? So we should clean our hand always. That is the first step to avoid 99% of our infectious disease. Usually all of the persons refer the TB as a lungs TB. Not only the lungs TB, usually it have effect on the chest TB. Yes, understood. Many tennis player like Leander Pace and all, he has brain TB. I have read somewhere. I am sorry if it is wrong, but you have to check. Okay. So then sneezing, coughing, and when the flu is happening, these droplets have this bacteria and it can be easily transmitted. 1400 years ago, Professor Lovely Silman told we have to wash our hand first. When you wake up from your sleep, you have to wash your hand, because this hand has an important role to spread all these kind of bacteria or virus or any microorganism as a pathogen, because our hand touches every time nose, mouth, eyes and ears. These 4 openings always open, isn't it? And it is open in the open area. So we have to clean. The hygiene is very important in order to prevent any microorganism. So that point you should take in consideration. Whenever you are feeling that you are sick, you have to stay away from yourself. It is a safety for you as well as the society. So each one should keep it in mind that it is my responsibility to keep the society clean and keep myself clean and stay healthy. Understand? Even in this situation, the government is trying to make everything should be closed under the one roof and stay inside the home. That is the first remedy tool. Why? Because it can only break the chain like that. Okay. So TB profile I have done here. Pathogen taxonomy, that means it's a rod-shaped bacterium. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, spelling is very important. And after that, transmission you have to know, signs and symptoms, and after that, prevention and control. Okay, so the 4 points you have to write down from this to your notebook and study. The spellings are very important, don't miss it. Cholera is the next case study. From this you can see the cholera is caused by a Vibrio cholera. It is a bacterium. It is a rod-shaped bacterium. Again, like tuberculosis, it is a kind of bacteria. It is coming under the bacillus, and this pathogen is typically acquired from drinking water. You know, many places the drinking water is contaminated by feces of patients or some kind of untreated sewage. Many cases it may spread from one person to another. The drinking water should be boiled and keep clean, closed, like that we are saying every time. So most commonly I have seen when I came to Oman, and in Omani school I really wondered, you are taking only the mineral water, bottled water from the shops. I really wonder. In India we have seen all the children will bring their own water bottle from home, which is boiled and make it cool. Every mom sent this boiled water in a bottle and the tiffin. But here still I am really wondered about the bottle system. We are not sure about the cleansity of the. Anyway, I am not saying anything. It is not good. I not say. But in your future, at least at your home, you should not go for that one. Outside, it is only the option. Okay, no problem. But at home, you have to boil the water and drink. See the situation in a place you can't imagine, because in Oman you can never ever see the animal and the child and the ladies all are doing the work in the same pond, washing, and the same place she is playing, isn't it? So this water, if we drink, we will get the disease. And even if this buffalo drink this water, maybe his gut is very strong, so it will not give a symptom to that beef. But when we are eating the flesh of this animal after it cut, what will happen? It will come to our stomach and it may causes the disease called cholera. And cholera is sometimes it is very fatal, sometimes it is very minute or mild type. That means it depends upon the virulence of the virulent of bacteria are also present, that one. Okay, and death may be occur sometime. And the main problem is dehydration, because it severely reduces the level of the body fluid, causes the blood circulation in collapse. That is the main drawback of the cholera. It will reduce the hydration of our body. It is dehydrated in a severe condition and it collapses our circulatory system. That is the problem for cholera. The cholera, again saying stop cholera prevention tip is what? Wash your hand, open with soap and cook the food properly. It should be really boiled and cooked. The raw meat or half cooked meat makes the possibility for the cholera. And drink the safe water, and we should get the vaccination. Okay, and we should have a hygiene at home as well as in our society. So how the cholera toxin works? Cholera is a bacteria and it produces some kind of toxin inside our gut lumen, the stomach. Mainly it affects our stomach. Okay, we have learned. That means each cholera is making a kind of protein, that is a kind of toxins inside our body. Okay, it has two parts, that is A and B. That A part is an enzyme part. It inhibits the uptake of sodium ions because it makes more chloride ions into the lumen of our stomach wall. After that, B is a binding protein which attacks the toxin complex to a particular subunits. Okay, so these two parts of a cholera toxin affect the epithelial cell of our gut wall, and this causes the secretion of the chloride ions into the gut lumen and inhibits any uptake of sodium ions will inhibited. Okay, so the hypersecretion of chloride ions result and is followed by a water loss. So when the cholera is affected, actually our body fluid is going from our body as a diarrhea. That is the main symptom of cholera, diarrhea. It loses our whole body fluid. Okay, because of the toxin. Actually, now this cholera, sometimes the strains are very mild, some are very ill making. Okay, it depends upon the strain of the Vibrio cholera. The spelling you should be very clear about the causative organ. Okay, because it depends upon the strain's strength. The disease may be fatal. Sometimes the patient will die. And one of my relative passed away by the cholera. I am remembering her on this occasion. Here I gave the cholera profile. Again I am saying pathogen taxonomy. That means a rod-shaped bacterium, Vibrio cholerae. The end with AE. The spelling is very important. If the spelling is wrong, the answer will be wrong. And the mode of transmission is polluted water and contaminated food. And the symptoms you have to know: diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal muscle cramp, stomach pain, too much stomach pain. Okay, and the prevention and control: boiling of drinking water, correct treatment of sewage, and prevention of food contamination by flies. These are, the food should be always closed, otherwise the flies or anything will come and sit there. Maybe that fly coming from the fecus or cow dung in the ground. Okay, after it come and sit in the food, what will happen? It will affect the food. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, so infectious disease part 1 and part 2 we have finished, and hope all of you got a clear idea. Now I have a request to you. You have to do all the questions, answers in your notebook, and you have to do one project about the coronavirus COVID-19. It's a mode of transmission where it formed first, and first it is named as epidemic, then pandemic. Why? And what is the causative organ? Like that, whatever the details you know, that you have to collectively write in a paper and add some pictures and something like that. It should be very good project. Okay, so you have to do from yourself, and if possible please upload your project in the Moodle. All of you have Moodle ID, I know. Okay, so you have to upload the project about COVID-19 as the same case study which we have done in cholera, AIDS and tuberculosis. Such details we cannot get about the COVID-19 because still it's a complete life cycle. We don't know about the virus, and the medicine we didn't find it yet. Anyway, no problem. But whatever the result from the beginning of December to this which day, this March 31st, until the March 31st, whatever the details you know, you have to collect and upload in the Moodle. This is my humble request. Okay, thank you once more. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. You have to use your time effectively. This is not a holiday. This is an emergency situation of the whole world, not only in Muscat or not only in Oman. This is the worldwide problem. Okay, so stay home, stay healthy, stay blessed, and use your time effectively and wisely. Inshallah, part 3 we can see in the next session with antibiotics. Okay, so be ready for that one. Until then, see you. Bye bye. Stay tuned.